Welcome to Sandwiches of History, Top 5 International Sandwiches of 2024. Now here's the thing. So many of the international sandwiches were 10 or close to 10 that I just decided to choose kind of a good sampling. There might be some that you go, why isn't that in there, Barry? Well, there's only 5 slots and I've only got so much time, so let's just get into it, shall we? This first one was actually not a 10, it was a 9.75, the Haahi from Egypt. Basically, shredded up jalapeno, onion, parsley stems, and green pepper were mixed in with warm spices to beef, and then that was packed into a pita bread, brushed with olive oil, and baked. It was delicious, and the only reason it was a 9.75 instead of 10 is because the tahini sauce that I put on was bright, garlicky, and it just really sent it over the top and made it a 10. Next up from Mexico, it's the Palona poblana. So for this, I used a pressure cooker where I cooked beef that was well seasoned until it was fork tender and shreddable, shredded it, put it back in the liquid with lime juice and cilantro, and cooked it for a little bit. Meanwhile, fried up the outside of the telera roll, then slathered the bottom with refried beans, some of the meat, shredded lettuce, Mexican crema, and salsa. It was a wonderful play on textures from the crispy outside to the soft inside, the delicious fall-apart beef, and all the different seasonings that went into it. Man, I want one now. Next up, we have the Kachi Deel Pav. Now, this is a vegetarian sandwich from India, but it was highly seasoned mashed potatoes with pomegranate seeds and cilantro, and it was served on a pav or bun with 2 different kinds of chutney, a tamarind chutney and a garlic chili chutney. Talk about an explosion of flavor. This is insane. It was a lot of work, but boy was it worth it. It was so delicious. And it's mashed potatoes. It's pretty filling. Speaking of a lot, the next sandwich, our Biff sandwich from Denmark. Boy, that was a lot. I made pickled beets, I made pickles, I made a remoulade, I made piccalilli so I could make the remoulade, and then we made the beef burger and topped it, made a gravy. It was a lot of work. As folks from Denmark weighed in on the videos, you can actually buy all of those ingredients already made. You don't have to make them from scratch, but I figured, you know, my friend Hot Dog Judge sent me the recipe. I should do it from scratch. And I did, and it was delicious. I loved it so much that I didn't mind having beets in there. That's right. I don't even like beets. And last but not least, certainly, is the Tomic donesh from Turkey. It was ground beef that was mixed with warm spices and shredded onion, formed into a loaf, and then frozen solid. Took it out of the freezer, cut shavings off, sauteed those shavings in butter, served that on a roll, smothered in a sumac onion salad that was just bright and delicious, pickles, tomato. It was just fantastic amount of flavor in the meat and in that onion sumac salad. It was so good. Well, that's it for the top 5 international sandwiches of 2024. It was tough to pick 5, to be honest with you. There's so many good ones, including that panuozzo that I made the other day, but what are you going to do? Join me tomorrow when we go in the opposite direction and check out the 5 worst sandwiches of 2024. See you tomorrow.